What's going on, everybody? Welcome to week 11 of this NFL season. Here at Philly Sports Wave, I'm your host, Chol. We got the whole crew joined today by my main man, JB, on his iPhone. So he just moved into a new spot. Probably why you guys haven't seen him on a couple of the most recent pods. He has to get it situated, drop the deuce into the new bathroom, christen the thing. I don't know what else he's doing with lady friends, but that's his business. We won't put that out on the podcast. What is cracking, JB?
Yeah, all moved in, all settled in, ready to go. Sorry for missing a few, but life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm back.
Yep, and I see you. Is that an homage to the new 76ers jerseys that you have hanging up in the background there?
It is. I forecasted it though, so I've had it up for a little while.
Yeah, so it's the
they can sold at me.
That's New Philadelphia, right?
It's because art and such. No blue collar anymore.
No,
all New Philadelphia.
Fuck blue collar. This is New Philadelphia.
Right, we're art.
Pinkies. And
ridiculous.
We got the one and only Rick Starfish. What's up, man? Looks like you're in a new spot as well. You have a window behind you. They actually make windows in Fishtown.
Yeah, I had to change it up because the lighting was getting all fucked up on a lot of Zoom sessions this week.
But you moved into a new spot too, right?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Typical Fishtowner guy moves right next door to the place he was living before.
Yeah.
You go with what you know.
Yeah, I did some good christening before.
This guy was actually texting me saying he was going to record from his toilet.
Yeah.
I asked him not to.
I did some good wiping on the toilet right there.
Just for the sake of our listeners and viewers. But
but that helps me with the picks. It's like an alert.
Consistent, guys, over the past few weeks. So, still it's good because people are coming back. We've been giving winners, which is awesome. We just got to keep continuing doing that. We've been talking about moving this into baseball, basketball, UFC, NASCAR. We're gonna start talking everything, and sooner or later, hopefully, we can just do these podcasts so we don't have to type that much and actually have to think. No. But we're going to make this a quick one, try to knock out a half hour here on Sunday. It's right around 10:55. So we haven't had the announcements of any players that are sitting out. I don't think we're going to see any surprises this week, but take this with a grain of salt. Week 11 started up. Quarterback picks. Who you liking, JB?
I'm all over Big Ben this week. I'm not afraid to stack him with two different receivers from the same team because they're studs. Their running game struggling. Jacksonville, that's up the third most points to quarterbacks. I'm all over Big Ben. And you can't go wrong with Herbert either. Both of them are my go-tos this week.
Air Bear
with the new haircut, looking like a 1990s teenager, but whatever.
He looks like that serial killer, bro, from the Netflix jammer. What?
You?
No. The actual real life dude with all the pimples on his face. Foley, help me out. You know your serial killer.
Which one?
Foley, pull your diary out. Tell us which one it was.
No, the dude that everybody was watching the Making the Killer thing a couple of years ago.
Oh, Brandon Dax.
Yes. That is what he looks like with the short hair. I don't know what he's doing, man. He should have kept that hair long, looking like a senator in L.A.
He should have. He's growing it out down below, I hear. My sources tell me.
He's missing out on some Punan.
I got it.
Haircut. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You know what? Big Ben, to go back to actually talking football like we were supposed to be doing. Big Ben, I stacked him, like you were saying, JB. I stacked him with three receivers from Pittsburgh in a lineup last week.
Right.
And I won. I won some money. I threw him in with some good money, I'm saying. Threw him in with Claypool, Juju, and Deontay. And ended up cleaning up in that tourney. It wasn't a monster like big GPP, but it was a good one.
You threw one to each, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I love Big Ben as well. Who are you looking at, Starfish?
Big Ben is a good one. I'm gonna go aside from the obvious. I'll try to if you're trying to pick out of a hat and trying to get something random. I think this could be one of those weird Cam Newton weeks because I love Big Ben. I love Matty Ice, and I know Chol, you love Matty Ice too. So I want to try to bring something out of left field.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton's so fucking weird. Let's face it.
Well, Cam can
Weirdo.
get those carries still to get in the end zone, right?
Right. And
Which is
they're
a
a
big
shitty run
differentiator in
defense. They're not a
DFS.
great defense this year. If you want to try to do something that's going to like get people, that isn't the common like lineup.
Yeah, a contrarian pick.
Yeah, the contrarian pick I think is Newton if you're going to go that direction. It's not Tannehill this week. It's not any other of the weirdos. It's not Burrows. I think if you're going to get a weirdo, it's Newton.
Yeah, and as a weirdo, we're probably looking at maybe 1% owned. I don't think we're buying Cam Newton. I haven't seen anybody talking Cam Newton. That's really out of left field, but he's the type of player that can get some.
It's that like weird time of the year.
I don't know anything about the New England offense anymore. It's so different without Tom Brady.
Right.
I do like my boy Jacoby Myers.
They're running a lot. Like over 60% of their offensive plays are runs.
They have to.
Isn't he the worst run defense in the league?
And let's just face it, Cam Newton isn't a quarter of the player he used to be. He had that typical fall off where the athlete wins the MVP, and then like he can play quarterback, but he's just not built for it.
He's protecting the ball though the past 3 games with no turnovers, and they are just heavy run. And if they're going to do that RPO, I'm not going to bet against Belichick, and I agree with Starfish that it's going to be a run heavy, and Cam could literally go off because he's the best runner on that team.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that is a good play. Going to my picks, we already kind of elaborated, and you can read the article, guys, on phillysportswave.com. Matty Ice is my go-to. I love when Atlanta plays New Orleans. I think those games are always fireworks. And to top it off, we have the whole Taysom Hill conundrum. The guy is a starting quarterback.
Yep.
We've been through this nonstop. I got a headache from having group text messages all week with my various.
Wait, Taysom Hill starting a quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear?
So I can play him a tight end then?
Well, the thing is, you name him the starting quarterback in a non-2 quarterback league, you shouldn't be able to play him.
Right. No, but I have an idea. I'm going to start him at tight end.
And that's the thing. So just like, Yahoo and CBS were on top of the game, right? Yeah. ESPN fucked up like ESPN does fuck up, and they're allowing them to be played as a tight end. Yeah. Now,
side note, Joe Chol, so is FanDuel.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. To take it into a DFS perspective, DraftKings named him a quarterback only, where FanDuel has opened up that door for him to be played as a tight end. So guess what? Taysom Hill is going to be a starting tight end majority of lineups. Now,
at 4,500
play to go to contrarian.
Is that what it is? It's 4,500.
He's 4,500 price tag on FanDuel at tight end.
Yeah. Oh so do you think anybody is not going to play him?
You would be an idiot not to, because think about it this way. Travis Kelce's the highest scoring tight end in fantasy football to date, right? Mm-hmm. He has one. If Hill has one game of over 20 points, guess what he is? A top 5 tight end.
Yep. And if I text you something earlier in the week, and I can't remember the tight end that I gave you as an example.
Oh, man.
But if I think it was Janu Smith.
Yeah.
He's the second ranked tight end.
Right.
Overall points. If Hill performs like he performs
with one game,
he is now the second ranked or something, right?
Crazy, right? In the thinnest position in the history of fantasy football, tight end sucks this year, where you're going to have to rethink your total strategy going forward. Is this something that you're going to have to do a wide receiver tight end flex going forward as in season longs? We're talking about a starting quarterback now that's, on FanDuel at 4,500, that if he scores 22 points minimum, he's going to be the number 2. He's going to be the number 2 tight end.
And this is the difference, guys. Right? I'm all about finding a strategy, finding a way to win. Right? Especially in DFS because it's money that we're talking about.
You're playing against people you don't even know, and it's huge money.
Yeah, it's not friendships. Everything's off the side. Yeah.
Say it again.
But as a company, how do you allow something like this to slip through the cracks? How do as
when your whole job is to look at this shit all week?
Like, kudos to Yahoo. They made the decision right away. CBS Sportsline, the guy's a quarterback, because there's a big differentiator between quarterback / tight end and tight end / wide receiver. All right. Cordero Patterson is a running back / wide receiver. There's a clear advantage right now with him as a starting running back playing wide out. You can put him in wide out. But, I mean, you're still getting a point per 10 yards or whatever the hell it is. It's still the same. Passing the ball, you have the ball in your hand every single play. It's mind-boggling that this is being allowed in FanDuel, that it's being allowed on season-long leagues. I don't understand why they can't change it in the middle of the week. They said it would cause too much problems. I think it's pure laziness. I think it's people just don't want to own up to their mistake. Either way, it's leaving a door open. So like JB said, play him at tight end. You know, I've seen some people playing him at quarterback, which kind of makes no sense.
Unless it's DraftKings who only has him, but if FanDuel, you put him in right away, quarterback.
Yeah, would you play him in DraftKings? Would you play him as a starting quarterback? Do you think that he'll get enough points? Or I'll take it one step further. Would you play Winston?
No. He has all reports, everything that we've seen this entire week was even the organization was against Peyton naming Hill the starter, but he has 0 packages for Winston. He took every single first rep with Winston not taking any rep at all. Could he come in? Sure. Could Hill line up as a wide out or running back at tight end at one point? This is Hill's offense right now. I'm pretty sure Peyton wants to see if he has what it takes to take the throne after this year.
Breeze is gone. I mean, the latest report is 11 cracked ribs, right? What'd you say?
Jameis Winston sucks. Oh my
God. Jameis Winston thought that he made like the move of all moves, going to New Orleans and signing as the backup.
Bridgewater, like, hey, I got a second career. I'm good.
I'm going to take up. He's like, I'm going to take over for Breeze when he's gone. Teddy Bridgewater just got a starting job at Carolina just from one season.
Oh God, he stinks. He's such poop.
Yeah, but he can eat.
Man, you gotta be.
He can eat those W's.
Yeah. Well,
Clown
crab legs.
All right. So on top of getting back to football, Watson is a big play for me as a stud, but I think people are going to be playing him. Ryan's my go-to in the majority of lineups. I love Patty Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to be out to shove it up Vegas's ass after what happened earlier this year. I think that game's a shady shootout.
I think it's not even a shootout. I think it's a fucking blowout.
Yeah, I can see
Reed
Vegas
is pissed off that they did that victory lap. They're going to shit on them.
You
don't think Vegas can put up some shady points toward the end of the game?
On the back end, but it's going to cover the line of +8.
Oh, without a doubt. I think that's the easiest bet of the day. But I think that
side here too, with your love with Matt Ryan, another plus for Ryan is Marshawn Lattimore was just named out today.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've looked at stats, and you're a stat man, so I assume Lattimore.
I know he's had a rough year
against majority of top wideouts. He gets shit on. He gets crushed. He only steps up
in big primetime games. He steps up, but he's out. At the end of the day, it matters for Julio. Julio shit on him in the past, but like you're talking about your number one corner down. I'm all in with you on Matt Ryan too.
And you've seen my write-up about Julio Jones this week. He is the second or the third most expensive guy. The only reason I put him as a sleeper is I think people are going to pay up for Devontae Adams, or they're going to pay down for Thielen, Jefferson, somebody in that matchup we'll talk about when we get to the wide receivers. But we just took a shitload of time on quarterback. Let's run the running backs. KB, who you liking?
I am loving Gibson and McKissick both in Washington. In a PPR, obviously DFS is all PPR. If you want small time, you're going to go Ahmad. If he does what he did last week, they're not married to Gaskin. So if he continues to show, he's going to earn more and more time. He may even take over that role. And Nyheim Hines, he looks like they're number one now. And at PPR, I think in FanDuel, he's 6,100 this week. So he's lower cost, which we love. You're going to stack him with someone like, Cook, but someone like Hines in 61 with a Cook combo and then running it back with 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. I'm all in on those 4.
Okay. How about you, Fish?
Well, he stole some of my thunder on that one. I love Gibson this week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting most of the volume. Indianapolis is one of those weird ones. So if you want to go chalk, I think this week is one of those weeks where you can kind of stick to the chalk for that if you're put one of the big guys in. But Indy's so weird. So last week, like they're having that type of season that one of those teams that rotates backs does. So like Hines tore it up on that Thursday night game, and now could be the week that like Jonathan Taylor, who's been like disappointing, but he'll have like 2 goal line runs.
Yeah.
And have like 25 carries. It's like
Everybody's been earlier in the year, everyone Taylor this, Taylor that. Everyone's talking about Taylor being like trade for him now. Like he's untouchable, blah, 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 blah. And he hasn't done anything. So now get rid of Taylor. If you can trade him, trade him. It's a running back by committee. Wilkins gets some carries. Hines gets some carries.
Exactly.
Hines just looks like the go-to.
Out that no one else is
Hines looks like a go-to back right now, but I can totally see Taylor come out and get 2 touchdowns.
Right. It's that type of season
I agree.
where this is the week where you've traded him and you sent him away. You haven't started him in a couple of weeks, and he just like.
And this is you can run on Green Bay's defense, man. Like
because their secondary is so good.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to have to run, and this game is going to be a pound game because the Indianapolis defense is so good, so you can see it on both sides.
Right,
100%.
Well, I also like Aaron Jones, even though it would be you would think prohibitive starting against Indy's defense, who's kind of solid, but he's been quiet the last couple of weeks.
What are your
talk? I think him and Connor are those types of weeks where you've gotten frustrated by.
So that's actually who I was just about to talk to you guys about.
Yeah,
Connor.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I love the guy as a person. I love this story. I was telling Jesse Blade earlier today. I've never seen a running back get this many opportunities where he's supposed to excel, he's supposed to succeed, and then he doesn't, but they keep giving him the rock and they keep saying that he's going to be the dude. Is it because
I'm baffled by it?
Is it because Snell?
No, he's not even the best running back in that backfield because McFarland's better than all 3 of them.
Yeah, so like that's kind of my point. So why does Connor is Tomlin just so tied in?
Loyal.
Yeah.
Loyal. He's always been loyal.
Yeah.
And does it really matter when you have those 3 wideouts and they finally figured out it doesn't matter what you do, we just throw the ball whoever we want to at any time, and then you have Ebron on the side? Like, come on.
So who so
it's unsexy, but he can block.
What was that?
It's unsexy, but he can block. He's good in pass protection. He's got those like fundamental Pittsburgh things that they like to do.
Yeah,
do you stay loyal though? Like, do you pull a Tomlin and do you keep putting your money's on the line? Would you risk him at his dwindling cost? This week?
Yeah. Against the 30th ranked, the 29th ranked defensive run, Connor's going to get in the end of this week. And it's going to be that week where you're going to be so pissed off if you didn't start him in like a DFS big money tournament, because he's going to have that week where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't start him.
Yeah. And his price went down. So it's not like, it's not going to break your bank. He went from like a, 7,500, 7,600 on FanDuel down to like $7,000.
All right. So what about Gio Bernard?
He's a starter in a high passing offense. I mean, he's a better receiver than he is a runner, so that benefits him in that offense.
So I'm hearing Mixon's going to be out for a good portion.
He's on IR.
Not play the rest of the year. Yeah,
he's on IR, and they did the same shit last year with AJ Green. They told you week to week, and then he never came back. I cannot see Mixon coming back for no reason.
All right, we already crushed like 25 minutes, so let me speed through.
Yeah,
I love Zeke and Cook in that matchup going against each other. I love Jacobs and CEH facing each other, just like I did earlier in the year when those two teams played each other. Mike Davis against Detroit. A lot of people are saying that game's going to be a shootout. That's being penciled in as one of the number one stackable games. I might not do a full stack. I do like Davis, though, as a running back. And Kellen Balaj, he's playing the Jets. Fuck the Jets. Jets. Fuck you. Let's go to the wide receivers. I'll start it off, my wideouts. We already know Julio is my bread and butter. Do it, lock them in, stack them with Matty Ice, do a full game stack, do a Ridley Julio stack with them. I start the whole goddamn Falcons as far as I'm concerned. And then on the reverse side, Alvin Kamara. Everybody's focused on this quarterback situation. Put Kamara into, I forgot to say that, at the running back position. Wide receiver, though, Devontae Adams, you're got to pay for it, but you're getting it in return every single week. His cost is just going up and up and up, but he's the number one player in fantasy, daily fantasy, and season long. Devontae's a go-to. In the Atlanta, New Orleans stack, I love coming back with Thomas. I feel like no matter who's the quarterback, if it's Hill, he's going to rely on Thomas no matter what. This is the week where the people that held on didn't trade him away through all these injuries and bad team environment, fighting his teammates and whatever else, suspension. This is when he comes back to life. You know, JB said it earlier, Pittsburgh Steelers, play whoever the hell you want. I'm a loyalist with Juju. I'm sticking to him. He's going to be my guy. And then Fuller. I mean, the guy scores touchdowns. He's going to score a touchdown against New England. I know it's a tough matchup, but they're my go-tos. Now, as far as sleepers go, I think this is the Jalen Reagor week. I think Cleveland's secondary sucks. Out of all Philadelphia Eagles, I am not playing anybody. Maybe Goddard. I might throw in a couple lineups, except for Reagor. Reagor is my I just have a weird feeling that this is the game where, after all the Jefferson talk for the past 2 weeks, he's going to come out. He's going to prove himself. And, when Ward isn't on him, I think he's going to really thrive. But even when Ward is on him, I look to him to catch a deep ball or two. I think 100-plus yards is an easy call, and possibly more than one touchdown. And then Jefferson and Thielen against Dallas' secondary. You might as well line us three up against them guys because that's money in the bank guaranteed.
Starfish got great hands.
Yep. So you got Starfish. Let's hear it from you.
I like keeping with that Atlanta thing. I do like Calvin Ridley because he was becoming a favorite target. So if you're looking to stack but not do the Julio thing and think maybe you're gonna make out like a bandit, I think Calvin is. And the good thing about him is it's not touchdown dependent. He was soaking up a lot of targets depending on the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you, Julio. Because of his immense, magnetism, his animal magnetism.
All right, JB, who you got? We got probably 10 more minutes.
I'm a big Deontay Johnson guy this week. Jacksonville ranks in the bottom 5 of the league of yards after catch. Deontay Johnson ranks in the top 5 in the league at yards after catch. He's a target monster in that offense. I love him this week. I also like Mike Williams this week to take advantage of that Jack secondary. I know a lot of people are going to be on Keenan Allen with a Hayward stack. I actually like Mike Williams a lot this week in that kind of stack. And if you're not afraid to, if you look at a lot of million makers this year, you have 2 wide receivers and a quarterback in the same lineup.
Yep.
There's trends for a reason. I stick with that trend and not afraid to start Herbert, Williams, and Keenan Allen in any lineup. And then as a sneaky play, I kind of like Michael Pittman Jr.
Huh. There you go.
I can see Michael Pittman Jr. because I also have him written down.
I like that.
He's out of all the names that I named, which was pretty much every single person I wrote down, he's the one that I didn't name, and you got him. So, again, us three have been on the same page a lot this year. This week in particular, I know that all three of us are, which could be a big thing for our Philly Sports Wave crew. Riding that wave, I think we could have some shit pop off, guys.
And we're not nearly organized enough to be colluding on that before the pod. So
yeah, right.
That as being genuine. We're hearing each other's picks and going, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Tight end, dude. It sucks anymore without Kittle. Ertz went down early. The other guys that we thought were going to like Wallers and all, like they're performing, but not performing like out of their mind. It's really an off year for tight ends overall. And when you're playing DFS, do you drop down and buy a cheap guy, or do you just pencil in one of the expensive people? What are you doing, JB?
So, I mean, if you're going to go like a late Sunday, Monday stack, you're obviously going to put Kelsey in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot not do it. Mm-hmm. If you're going to go cheap, I mean, especially on FanDuel, obviously you're fucking starting Hill, like 4,500. You're going to put him in. If you're not starting Hill, Logan Thomas, PPR monster. Alex Smith looks his way early and often. So if you're looking for one of those cheap plays, Logan Thomas. I'm not big on Goddard, only because Cleveland tends to guard the tight end well. But I am big on the other side of that with Austin Hooper.
And we do not guard. We, as the Philadelphia Eagles, do not guard the tight end. Correct. Our linebackers are a bunch of fucking dipshits. Who do you got, Fish?
Yeah, I like as I forget Which one do you pick though? I like Hayden Hurst this week. Figuring again with the the whole Atlanta thing.
Yep, that's JB.
Was that JB? Yeah, I like Hayden Hurst. And your boy Hawkinson has been somewhat consistent in terms of the way that, in the context of the tight end position, he scores at least. They target him in the red zone.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that he might not catch a ball the entire game, and then he'll get a touchdown in the fourth.
Right,
Guaranteed season long. He's guaranteed to get you like 7 points.
And this year with the way tight end is, sometimes you just have to like take that risk of, okay, I need the tight end. I need the guy who's going to catch a red zone touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to spend money on other positions. I can't.
I mean, I'm paying up. I play DraftKings more than FanDuel. I only put like 1 or 2 lineups in FanDuel. FanDuel, obviously, I'm going to put Hill in just like everybody else. DraftKings, I'll probably roll with Kelsey in the ones that I can. Like JB said, Logan Thomas. I am going to go with Goddard in a couple of them, not as heavy as I have in the past because he's burnt me too much in the past 2 weeks. And Gronk in the games that I can play the Buccaneers Monday night or Sunday, whatever. What do they play? Sunday night or Monday? Like if he's in, or if that game's available, I'm going to put him in my lineup. All right, we got 10 more minutes, guys. So let's just roll into defense.
I don't know if you know this. You can start Taysom Hill at tight end.
Holy shit!
Super duper. Defense. Who you got, JB?
Dolphins. I mean, they're sneakily a top 10 defense in season long. Now they're going to play against the Broncos, who offense is struggling. The only player on the Broncos offense that you may even consider putting in any lineup, shockingly, isn't Judy. It's probably Hamler this week coming out of the slot. And the Dolphins defend the outside very well. Their special teams is really good. And then on the back end, you like the Chargers too because they're playing the Jets.
Yep, and that's the key to picking up. If you're streaming defenses season long, just take the team that plays the Jets every single game.
Right.
And, you're not with lockout. You might be it might benefit from teams that are playing Denver as a backup call too. And then who do you got, Fish?
I know, the defense of the week every week this year seems to be Pittsburgh. So if you've got some cash left over, but I also think if you're trying to get the wild card, it's that Philly Cleveland game. Either one of those defenses could be the one that like has a defensive touchdown or has like 8 sacks or something like that. Flip a coin and pick either one of those.
Well, both of the quarterbacks are going to throw picks.
Right.
They're both throwing a pick. So,
granted, Cleveland doesn't have Myles Garrett, so I would probably lean Philly on that.
And Philly's great against the run. So, I mean, you're looking at
not last week, but usually
they're sneakily not good against the run though, because just because they don't let up 100 yards to a single rusher, they're still letting up 140 yards per game because it's committee based. Like the only game they shut down the running game was against Dallas. They just let up 156 yards total to the Giants.
But they're still statistically, they're still top 10 in every category against the run. If you're looking at just strict numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. But those numbers are deceiving because I would be willing to guess and bet that Hunt and Chubb shit on them this week in the running game. I would be willing to bet that.
In the running game?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
You're the first person I've heard say that. We're gonna save this clip just in case you're right, because this could be good marketing material.
Just play John saying shit on them on Luke.
But I'll be honest with you. I don't see it happening on the ground. I do see Hunt killing it through the air.
They can't guard out of the backfield.
Yeah, and Baker isn't going to be throwing the ball down the field and succeeding. They're going to design plays for him to dump it off. That's why I think your tight end call is a good call against the Birds. But I have 3 defenses written down on my side of things. I have Pittsburgh, which Fish said, obviously playing Jacksonville, the best defense. If you can afford them, get up and get it. I have Philly because of their run D, and because I think they're going to force Baker to pass the ball. They might come out into like a quick lead, and Cleveland have to play from behind, which tends to lead to Baker throwing some picks. Defensive husk isn't without question. And then welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Love him.
Yeah, Miami is pretty much the play. I thought every single one of us would like Miami going into this. So that's all we got for this week as far as picks? Is there any? We got 6 minutes. Is there anything completely off the wall we might have forgot that we want to tell our loyal listeners to run after? JB, what do you got?
I would just say, don't chase the proverbial dragon. Like, just because someone blew up the week before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You get that sleeper that's like, oh my God, I got to get in my lineup next week. Don't do that. It's a fantasy DFS death kiss if you do. Don't chase the dragon.
Fish, what do you got?
We're entering that time of the year where it's the guys who are the late November, December guys. And there's someone every year who, or a handful of guys. So that's what we're trying to jump on now. And it piggybacks off of what John said, where it's like, don't go for the sexy, oh, he had 3, touchdowns last week and whatever. You want that guy who's going to be consistent, regardless of position group, who hits that second gear from like Thanksgiving on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every year. Who was it for the Bills? Remember, like Fred Jackson?
Yeah.
Was that guy? If you had him like in November.
Look at Drake last year.
Yeah, exactly.
After that trade, Drake ran. So I would say, I'm to kind of piggyback off of you, man. I would say make sure you look at the weather. Make sure you look at the changes to rosters. For instance, we know that Mixon's probably going to be out for the rest of the year. Gio Bernard is penciled in right now. P. Ryan might be getting some play over there. We don't know if he is, some RJ P. Ryan, not the other P. Ryan. How the hell is it 2 P. Ryan? But there might be a guy on the practice squad that gets promoted that comes out of nowhere, a la Josh Adams a few years ago, that can get you a couple touchdowns in one game, or the team gives them a nice run if they're out of playoff contention. There are going to be guys that step up in the next few weeks, and in daily fantasy, that's where you can win some money. Pay attention to the rosters. Look at the guys that are being promoted from practice squad. If you're getting them at a $3,500 cost or a $4,000 cost, pencil them in. Number 2, take advantage of the bullshit fuck-ups by these companies. Case in point, I don't know if you guys heard about this tight end that's starting a quarterback. Hill. Play him.
What are you saying? What just happened?
Wait, what?
To all you geniuses out there that think that you are smarter than everybody.
You've done so much research and you knew this going in.
Every fucking person knows it. Everybody knew that he was going to be available. It's not some you're not some world beater, all right? Everybody in every league knew that this was going to happen. All right. Daily fantasy, you do it to take advantage of the people that you don't know, to win money. It's actual money. Season long, you're facing off against your friends. Keep it friendly. If you want to be a fucking dickbag, then go ahead and be a dickbag. But, it's one way or the other. I have 1 minute left. I'm going to leave you guys at this. In Philly, we're on a lockdown again. It sucks. They're trying to control us. The holiday season's coming up. Support your local businesses. All right. Buy gift cards. Art History 101. Buy some merch. Black Friday's coming up. Get some Philly gear. Get some Phillies gear. Get some Eagles gear. Get some Sixers gear. Can't wait to talk about the 76ers and all the moves they're making. Support your local restaurants and bars. Buy some gift cards. Buy some takeout. Take care of Philly, because if Philly don't take care of Philly, then nobody else is going to. All right. We'll leave it at that. Anybody else got anything to say?
You said it all, my man.
PhillySportsWave.com. Holla at your white boy. Good luck, everybody. Take care.
Later.